Is this the dagger?
G'day guys, JB here. Game 1 of the 2025 NBA Finals done, finished, in the books, and it is now a 1-0 lead to the Eastern Conference champion, the Indiana Pacers. Took them a full 48 minutes, but they managed to get the job done. They split their first two games on the road and now have home court advantage all but sealed up for the rest of this series. A series that by no means is done, and could it be a false sense of bravado, we'll soon find out. But certainly one of the more intriguing games of finals basketball over the last decade. So nonetheless, let's get into it. The review of Game 1 of the 2025 NBA Finals. The Indiana Pacers defeating the Oklahoma City Thunder 111-110. For Indiana, it was Pascal Siakam, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists and a block. 46.7 from the field, 50% from deep, and 66.7 from the line. Obi Toppin recovered from a terrible first quarter, had a really crucial role in this game. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists to go with 3 turnovers. 66.7 from the field, 62.5% from deep. Miles Turner, he was crucial as well. 15 points, a big leader and big part of their rebound lead. 9 rebounds there to go with 3 block shots. 6 turnovers, not ideal, but did recover for some efficient scoring from the floor, particularly down the stretch. And the man of the moment, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, one of the biggest clutch shooting players of the 21st century. It's undeniable at this point. Tyrese Halliburton, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists and a block. 6 assists to go with a block, and the game winner on 3 turnovers. 46.2 from the field, 28.6 from deep. On the other side of things, the Oklahoma City Thunder, Gilgeous-Alexander leading the way with a typical Shea game. 38, 5 and 3. That's 38 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists to go with 3 steals, 2 turnovers. Realistically was the best player in this basketball game. There's no doubt about that. 46.7 from the field, 50% from deep, 87.5 from the free throw line. Second option there in Jalen Williams really let him down, and you can make a real good case that was the ultimate reason that they didn't get over the line here in Game 1. Jalen Williams, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists to go with a steal, but 31.6% from the field, 25% from deep. Lou Dort stepping up where he needed to. 15 points, 4 rebounds and assists. Big defensive plays there. 4 steals, 2 blocks, 50% from the field, 55.6 from deep. Alex Caruso similarly on the defensive end, 11.6 rebounds, 2 assists to go with 3 steals, 2 blocks, 46.7 from the field, 50% from deep, 87.5 from the free throw line. The first quarter, OKC jumped ahead, 9-point lead, 29-20. SGA leading the way in the quarter, 12 points, 2 rebounds, an assist and a steal, 5 of 12 shooting, 1 of 1 from deep, 1 of 2 from the line. Hartenstein, a real chip in as well, had his best quarter almost for the season, just with how crucial it was. 7 points, 2 rebounds and a steal there, 2 of 2 shooting, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, really crucial for him. And Pascal Siakam, one of the lone contributors for the Pacers at that point. 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist to go with 1 turnover, hadn't missed a shot. 9-3 turnovers in the first term set the tone for what many would have suspected was going to be a big win for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Toppin and Nesmith for Indiana were the main culprits, leading to 10 or more field goal attempts for the Thunder in the quarter. However, the efficiency in scoring the basketball remained with the Pacers. Overall, to our nature of the Thunder, along with the sheer number of opportunities on offer, looked like it was going to give OKC a comfy early buffer to work with and maintain. However, battle on the glass remained close and kept second chance points away from the Western Conference champions. It's probably the crucial part about the narrative of this game is even though Oklahoma City had their opportunities, they simply couldn't capitalise. And when the next opportunity was presented, it was presented to the Pacers. That's where they controlled the game on the glass. Heading into the second term, heading into halftime, Oklahoma City were ahead 57-45 and they won the quarter 28-25. However, that was clearly nipped in the bud compared to what the Pacers had dealt with. Previously a +9 quarter for OKC, only a +3 quarter here for the Thunder in the second term. Lou Dort leading the way, 9 points, 2 steals, 3 of 3 from deep. Great marksmanship there. SGA, 7 points, 1 assist to go with 2 steals, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from deep, continuing to put on a show. And TJ McConnell off the bench proved crucial as far as it was concerned for the Pacers, trying to keep them in it. 5 points, 2 of 3 shooting, 1 of 1 from deep. The Pacers were 7 of 18 for the quarter compared to 9 of 27 for the Thunder. So again, it comes down to that sheer weight of numbers. Yet they only lost the quarter by 3. First half was crucial for the Pacers as they forced the Thunder up and down the floor and into a bulk of shots they ideally didn't want to take and resulted in them not being able to capitalise. Despite 10 turnovers from Indiana and just 1 from Oklahoma City in the second quarter, Indiana were able to lock in on the defensive end of the floor. 19 turnovers to 4 to the half, yet only trailing by 12. Really, it was remarkable, no matter the context of the game, let alone in an NBA Finals. SGA at this point was the only player in double digits. He had 19 to the half, but the sheer volume of opportunities that was there for OKC, the way they were forcing the ball to be turned over. I mean, this game should have been done at halftime. We're talking about a 12-point margin. We probably should have been looking at a 30-point margin. The halftime factors in this one for the Thunder, who did lead the game, they were plus 12 on the scoreboard. They were also plus 12 in steals. They were plus 15 advantage in the turnover department, and their free throw percentage, they were up 20.9% in comparison to the Pacers. The Pacers, though, again, they were leading the battle on the glass, plus 6 in the rebound department. They were plus 3 in the assist department, had more shot blocks, but it was the efficiency that they scored the ball. They actually were ahead 5.9 in the field goal percentage department, and they're up 2.2 in the three-point percentage department. So, again, talks about capitalising on your opportunities, making the most of what's presented to you. The Thunder weren't doing that, and realistically, if they had, this game was well and truly over. OKC, by the end of the third quarter, had the lead 85-76, but the Pacers had won the quarter by 31. So ultimately, the only difference right there and then was that 9-point opening buffer that was created there by the Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, again, another nice quarter, 9 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists to go with a turnover, 4 of 8 shooting, 1 of 1 from deep. Pascal Siakam stepped up his game a little bit more, 8 points, 4 rebounds and assists, 3 of 7 shooting, 1 or 2 from the line and 1 or 2 from deep, and Lou Dort continuing the barrage from outside. He had 5 3-pointers at that point. He went 2 or 2 from deep in the third with 1 block as well. But with the way the game was going, there was a clear swing in the third term for the Pacers after a battle to get back to the Thunder in the second. The game essentially was treated as square in the start of the third term. The Pacers saw it as a brand new opportunity. The difference was that three-quarter shooting from the stripe, 3 out of 4 shooting from the stripe, i.e. 3 out of 4 makes compared to no attempts at the stripe for the Thunder. That was the only difference on the scoreboard in this quarter, but it was another win on the glass. It was better ball movement resulting in the scores, and that proved just as crucial, actually setting up passes that were leading to assists, and not an assist style pass, but hitting the right man open at the right time. Really crucial in this third quarter. While Indiana shot the ball slightly less than Oklahoma City, 23-25, again, it was those 2 trips to the stripe that certainly made the difference. And all of a sudden, the Pacers had reset the contest at the half, brought things back to even. They only committed the 2 turnovers in the third quarter, which proved crucial compared to the fact that they'd committed 19 alone in the first half, 9 in the first quarter, 10 in the second quarter. So all of a sudden, they're converting better from the field. They've reset it. They've won the quarter. Things are just starting to click. Things are turning over and things are getting in their favour. And ultimately, that's exactly what happened for the duration of the game and what happened for the duration of the fourth quarter. Pacers come over the top. They won this game 111-110. They won the quarter 35-25. They limited arguably the best team offensively in the history of basketball to 25 four-quarter points. SGA, nice quarter for him. 10 points, 1 rebound, 2 or 4 shooting, 6 of 6 from the line. But it was Turner and Nembhard that really proved crucial on the scoreboard here for the Pacers. 8 points, 1 offensive rebound to Turner. He went 3 or 4 from the field, but 2 or 3 from deep. Really stretched the floor as a big. Nembhard, as I mentioned, 8 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 or 5 shooting, 1 or 2 from deep. Perfect from the line. Made the most of their opportunities. So now with the Pacers backing in their own game, having wrestled control of the contest in the third quarter, the Thunder was somehow on the back foot at home. Even with a steadying basket down the stretch, the uncertainty from multiple long bombs from Indiana really rattled a rabid Oklahoma City crowd. And this is something many people have noticed. You could just feel the crowd sense the moment of, geez, we're in trouble here. They really backed themselves into a corner in that sense. For the quarter, the Pacers went 12 of 24 from the field and 6 of 10 from deep. So, I mean, that's really good there. They've gone 6 of 14 from the field outside the 3 ball. They've gone 6 of 10 from deep. Meanwhile, the Thunder overall went 7 of 19 in the fourth quarter. They only attempted 19 shots, didn't make a shot from deep. They were +9 on the glass, the Pacers. They had better ball movement. And ultimately, the big thing that helped coming down the stretch in that final play, they have the best clutch shooter in the NBA on their team. That's the difference. When you look at the way this game worked, and there's a few different stats I want to get into at the end of this here, but when you look at the fact that they were able to score more efficiently, they were able to obviously get more points, they got a bit more production out of their bench, they gathered the rebounds, they moved the ball to score, they blocked shots, they scored efficiently despite the turnovers. Everything culminated after 48 minutes. And realistically, Indiana led for 0.3 seconds of the game. And it was the only 0.3 seconds that counted. The entire game, it's the only 0.3 that counted. The Pacers head in with a 1-0 series lead into the second game in Oklahoma City. They now have home court advantage as the series progresses. They could be a real red-hot crack to win Game 2 in Oklahoma City. And if you're going to look at it, the only 2 times that an Eastern Conference team has beaten Oklahoma City at home, either this year or last year, has been the Indiana Pacers. That's the kind of team they are. If you look at the second half factors, the Pacers outscored them by 13, out-rebounded them by 11. As far as pass that led to assists, they were +8. They were +7.9 in field goal percentage. They were +16.7% from deep. Now, the Thunder did have one more steal and they were better from the stripe. But getting possession and being efficient with it and getting people involved, that's exactly what the Pacers did. And that's how they got the advantage. Overall in the game, for the Pacers, they had the advantage in bench points, 39-28. They out-rebounded the opposition across the board, not only in totals, but offensive and defensive, 64-47 in total. They out-rebounded them by 17 across the game. 24-13 assists. So they had 11 more passes that led to assists, potentially generating 33 more points. 7-6 in the blocks category. They outshot Oklahoma City 47.6 to 39.8, and from deep they were 46.2 compared to 36.7 for the Thunder. Now the Thunder, they did have more points in the paint, which is a real question, because the Thunder decided to go small ball for the rest of the way in the last 3.5 minutes. Yet they led points in the paint 46 to 34. Should have gone to their bread and butter. They should have really utilised their size at that point. Fast break points 11 to 10. They were getting up and down the floor. Turnovers, as I mentioned, they had an 18 advantage. They only committed 6. The Pacers 24. Points off turnovers, they also made the most of that, 11 to 4. But when you look at the difference, it's not a great amount of points off turnovers by comparison. 14 to 1 in the steals department. 14 to 1. Like, they were just forcing turnovers in that first half like it was nothing. And from a free throw standpoint, they shot 87.5% compared to the Pacers' 71.4%. For me, really tough one to try and assess an MVP. You talk about Halliburton hitting the last shot, and that deserves all the credit in the world. You talk about Siakam having consistency, but he was struggling at the free throw line. You look at the defensive and offensive presence there that was brought by a Nembhard, that was brought by a Turner. Okay, that's fair, but ultimately, the guy I stood on is the fact that you look at what their bench production was, you look at how crucial they were getting through their second unit, you look at the big shots that he made and how much time he made up. I have no issues with saying that Obi Toppin was the most valuable player in this game. Now, if I want to look at who the best player in this game was, it's no doubt that it was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. For all the factors I've just listed and what Obi Toppin was able to do, I think if you're going to sit with an MVP vote right now, Obi Toppin's leading it. And again, he made up for his early mistakes and proved to be as crucial as any player down the stretch, making up the difference in the second half. Not to mention the crucial bench production he provided. If Obi Toppin continues to have a bad night, they don't win this game. Granted, if the Pacers continue to have a really bad night, they don't win this game, but I think his contributions were crucial. As a shock, the Pacers were more efficient ball club shooting the basketball, gathered more rebounds, and made the most of their extra possessions in that department, despite 19 turnovers in the first half. Outside of the first quarter, though, you've got to remember they only lost the second quarter by 3. They won the third term by 3 and all but squared that up. They needed to make it up in the last, and they did by a point with 0.3 seconds to go. While turnovers were huge in the first half from Toppin and Turner, their ability to knock down big shots down the stretch from deep and provide defensively proved crucial as the Thunder began to run out of legs. So we talk about the pace of play, and we talk about getting up and down the floor and, getting minutes into guys. That's what the Pacers will do. They talked about it on broadcast all game. They are a 48-minute team, and that's exactly what happened again tonight. They played, in this particular game. They had to play a full 48 minutes. That's how they got over the line. They made them run. They made them play the full 48. They made them accountable. And again, the Thunder began to run out of legs. And I think that's an ultimate reason they started missing shots. Again, credit OKC, particularly for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, and Alex Caruso, who kept pushing. But when the best clutch player in the league is on the one team that can't be counted out and runs hard for a full 48 minutes, you're never home safe. Doesn't matter how many times you want to put the ball towards the hoop. If it doesn't go in, you don't get shots. That was a crucial, proven point in this game. It was evident. Hallie had the biggest shot of his life, even after all the big shots he's hit this postseason. He gave the Pacers the lead, the win, and home court advantage moving forward. Hell of a game one. Sets up a hell of a series. Now, I still think OKC can win it in 6, but I also wouldn't want to be OKC going back to Indiana if I'm down 0-2, because then the equation becomes very, very, very different. Excitingly different, but very, very different. I'd expect OKC to come out and rebuild on that, but I'd also look at it from an Indiana standpoint and go, hey, we didn't do too bad for playing arguably our worst basketball in the first half. For OKC, yep, we jacked up a lot of shots. We got a lot of nervous energy out. We got a lot of young guys. But they need to continue to build upon that. They need to utilise their size. They need to utilise their presence. And remember, they are the biggest differential team in the history of the league. They've won 68 games. They're a chance to win 84 for the entire year, to win a title. They're on the cusp of genuine history. That's what they need to keep in mind. But so are the Pacers. And the Pacers are looking to do the same thing. So that's going to be a really interesting dynamic that they're going to bring to Game 2 as well. Anyway, guys, that is my review of Game 1. We'll get another one up in Game 2. That's been me. I'm out.